Get a Job in Tech, episode 229. Let's talk about remote or return to the office, essentially. So these are two dilemmas that they're talking about now in the work from home or return to office. I get it. A lot of companies want people to go back to the office because they have this big building that they're paying for and they can't get out of the lease. Whatever. Who knows? Obviously, it's a new normal now. And so some employers they have office that could be done remotely 2 times a week, but companies want the individuals to come back to work. So we have this thing called it's called the remote rework or remote rethink, essentially. So after last couple of years ago, they had everybody could work from home, and now they're changing it up to be where you need to be in the office. Obviously, you can call it remote reversal, essentially. And the companies out there, they'll talk about the remote work productivity, and if they work from home, then they're no less productive or whatever. But here's some numbers, essentially, right? Let's talk about numbers. So the benefits of working from home. Okay, here we go. Improve retention, higher work productivity, access to wider talent pool. That's for a company. Reduce absentee employees that are absent of work. And obviously the real estate, the office themselves. Companies don't have to pay for these giant offices, and they have lease they can get out of them, maybe. Now, the downsides of remote work, and that's, who knows. Now this is from the employers, right? So the ability not to be able to observe and monitor an employee, the non-ability to have peer monitoring, meaning you can just walk down the hall and talk to your peer. Now these are employers, right? They say work productivity or worker productivity. Workers are less productive. I'm not sure about that one. They said less innovation and collaboration. Not sure. And data loss. So company secrets. Maybe one could say that. Who knows? But I haven't seen it. And telework tools, for instance, some of the software or even monitors. You got to buy extra monitors for the person working from home, or you got to buy, maybe they need a desk. So the company has to, usually they don't pay for that, but some companies may pay for a desk, and they pay for like a docking station and monitors, etc. So I could see that. And the need to find remote work infrastructure. So basically, again, the ability, like software, they have to buy software, like Citrix, they have to buy Citrix, they have to buy some VMware, Horizon View, something like that, so they can have their employees log in because they're not at the site. And obviously laptops, so you buy a laptop. But versus if you're in an office, you can use the company laptop or company desktop, if you will. Obviously, the monitoring of the employer, to be able to monitor the employer, is easier if they're in office versus the working from home. And I think a lot of employees feel more freer because now they can go on vacation. Let's say you're working from home. Before, you couldn't do this. You work from home and you take a Friday off and you check your email or whatever, and then you work from home. So now you drive to Disneyland, let's say, and you stay for a week in Disneyland. Now you can have it to where you can tell the employer, hey, I'll work at night or whatever. So during the day, you go to Disneyland, really early in the morning, go to Disneyland, see all the sights. And then at night you come home and you work. Maybe you work a 3-hour day or something like that, where you set it up because maybe it only takes 3 hours, and maybe you can work a full 8 hours. So you're up till midnight or whatever and back again at 7. But that's definitely doable. And working from home, when you work from home, you have the ability to do it, quite honestly. And that's really the benefit. Time. Now you can go to, now it has to work both ways. If you're by yourself, no big deal. But if you have a spouse, then the other spouse has to be able to work from home too for this to work. But otherwise, they take vacation. So, but in a sense, remote work is very nice. So, one of the things that a company says, these are employers, obviously, right? When they said no, we want you to come back into work. Here's a couple of things they were talking about. They said that when they had the employees coming back to work, they required them to be back in office. Their retention went down, meaning the employees left and they went to other jobs essentially. And they also lost critical employees because they wanted a more remote, flexible work from home. They wanted to be able to work from home more. And so that's the downside if you're an employer from that. But if you're an employee and you're looking for a job in tech, and there's a couple different websites out there, obviously, I talk about all the time, just go to Google. That's the best one. Type in work from home, whatever your skill set is. Obviously, you want a job in tech because if you're working at Walmart, you're working at McDonald's, there's no work from home with those two companies. Guarantee it. You don't want those jobs anyway. Those are for high school kids. So you want a real one, right? You don't want to be 50 years old working at Walmart or McDonald's and alongside some 20-year-old kid who's worked there and you've worked there 30 years. Like, yeah, I worked here 30 years at Walmart. And then when you're done working, you get a 10% discount or whatever they get. Now, of course, your salary's gone up, but you can't ever, it's not normal. You can't work from home. There's growth. You can become a manager, of course, and you have some vacation, of course, but you're still going back to that store. You're still going back to Walmart. And again, it's nothing on Walmart. It's just how their business is run. They're not a work from home company, whereas IT is. And I will say to you, whoever's listening out there, get in now, because if you don't get in now with IT, it's going to be harder in the future. I guarantee you. Once companies out there start to learn about AI and start to learn about how they can make their companies more efficient, then it's going to be harder and harder. And they say, oh, we need more people. No, we'll stick with who we have. But if you're already in the door, you're already working, you already have a job working from home, then it'll be easier for you to stay there, because companies generally don't like to hire new individuals because they have to learn the personality, they have to learn all these new things about them. But if you're there already working from home, they already know you, they trust you. It's just a win-win for you. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next one.